Hello and welcome to the Tragikast. This is your host, Zarek. I am here co-hosted by my friend Kevin, and this is a weekly podcast where we talk about video game stuff mostly and other nerdy stuff that we are into. So, Kevin, how have you been doing?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah, gaming update. We finally, what was it? PS5 had for GameStop had Back for Blood on sale.
Yeah, had it for 25, so I decided to pick it up, and looks like a bunch of other people did as well.
Yeah, first day was what me, you, Kingston, Sam, and then Ryan got it.
Yep.
I even had got regulated to being too old and having to go to sleep. And then you guys played some while I went to bed.
Yeah, though had I had to work today, I would not have stayed up as late as I did playing either. So,
Yeah, I saw the goodbye tag was somewhere close to like after midnight.
yeah.
You guys finish it?
Oh no, we didn't even finish Act 1.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn. I figured you'd at least completed Act One.
No, some of those things get intense.
Do you guys fail at all?
No, never failed. Um, there's one mission where you have to stand at a bar and fight waves of enemy, and then after it all gets done, you have to get to a Humvee and uh, kind of leave that way.
Yeah.
But what we didn't realize is once you get in the Humvee, you cannot get out of it. So me and Ryan get into the Humvee because we're there, and Sam comes running out and she gets downed, and we can't get out to get her back up.
Oh, dude.
And that was one of the missions where it gave you the card that all four
All
people
four
had to
have to survive.
survive.
Yep.
Yeah,
So now you're losing
but
supply points.
but Kingston actually clutched up and got her up, and they both got out. So
Holy shit. Are you serious?
yeah,
Oh,
it
man.
did help that the Red were attacking the Humvee instead of them for some unknown reason.
Can you imagine they couldn't actually damage the Humvee? It's not like,
No.
yeah, oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean it's just an extraction point. It
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
even move.
That's
It's just
great.
when everyone got inside of it, the mission was over.
Oh, man, that is great. But yeah, I'm surprised how much, I knew I liked the game, especially if multiple people got it, but the guns feel really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Um, and I don't know if this applies to you, but probably more so for me. There is a free update coming sometime in December, and they're gonna add solo play. Because right now, if you play solo, even if you play with bots, you can't progress. So like, you can't get supply points. You can play through the whole thing, and even if you beat the game, you still get 0 supply points. Um,
Really?
yeah.
That seems kind of weird.
So yeah. So there is supposed to be an update coming that in December that will add an actual single player campaign.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And possibly a bot overhaul was part of that.
That poor guy that thought that we thought was a bot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So just I guess that's a good story to lead off before we talk about games. So when we first load up, it's what me, you, Sam.
Yeah, and I've got it set to invite only, but did not realize there's another tab you have to set to private session. So when we queue up, it still puts us with a person whose name is error number like 956.
Yeah.
We just assumed that was a bot whose name had errored out.
Yep. And we just talked mad shit the whole entire time. Man, why is this bot just running ahead grabbing all the stuff? God, this bot sucks.
And me trying to heal it, and I was like, bot won't stand still, I can't heal it.
And that's when it stands still. Oh my god. It all makes sense now.
That does remind me of something else. After you got off, we were playing, and we get into a safe room, and we're trying to talk about what upgrades to buy or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's two NPCs that are on the other side of the wall, and they're talking really loud to each other, just having a conversation. And I'm just like, "Will you guys shut up? We're trying to talk here." And no lie, dead seriously, they stopped. It was dead quiet.
The NPCs can hear. There are no NPCs. It's all players. Oh my god, that's insane. God. Alright, well, Back 4 Blood has been a lot of fun. I know we're probably both still kind of playing our single player games. I haven't played much of Yakuza, but yeah, they're still there.
Yeah, I did beat Kingdoms of Amalur yesterday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I will say it's very weird. So I beat it on Saturday, I think. Is when I beat it. And right after I beat it, I was like, this ending seems rushed and unsatisfying. Was my initial thought.
Because it was.
Possibly, but after 2 days of sitting and thinking on it, I don't know if I'm giving them more credit now than they deserve, but it almost seems like it's actually a perfect way to end the game.
I'll have to I haven't beat it yet, so I will have to beat it, and then we can talk further about it. But it definitely seems interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and the reason I'm not gonna like spoil anything here, but the reason I think that it worked is that it got into a situation where you were under a time crunch. Something was getting ready to happen, and you had to take care of this quickly. And that makes it seem okay to have a rushed ending. Yeah. Like, all this stuff starts to come together really fast. And it even went in with, like, you've got this half-assed plan. And you're sitting here thinking, there's no way this works.
It gives the suicide mission from, like, Mass Effect.
Yeah, pretty much. Which leads to my second problem that I had was, I know you've played some of it, and you know that there's a whole big mystery surrounding your previous life. Like, you don't know anything about it.
Yep.
You know you have that one contact who knows who you were in a previous life, but she won't tell you anything.
Yep.
And you get to the end, and she starts telling you all this stuff. And it's just all coming at you really fast. It doesn't make much sense, and it has no impact whatsoever on the game.
Nice. So wouldn't you tell me this shit?
Yeah, and I'm also sitting here thinking, this is poorly done as well. But then, once again, after a couple of days of sitting and thinking on it, I'm like, maybe it's not. Because the concept of this game was, it doesn't matter who you were in your last life.
Yeah.
Because you come back, and now you have the ability to change fate. So all that stuff doesn't matter. So does it really matter what she tells you there?
Well, but then I would argue in the case of a narrative, right? Like, and something that I'm trying to get better at with my D&D sessions is generally if it doesn't matter, then it doesn't need to be told, right? Like.
True. Yeah, and here's my thinking is I don't think it matters for this character. But it did set up overall. Yeah, it did set up a potential storyline for a sequel.
Oh, gotcha.
It was something else that could have been delved into, but didn't matter for this character.
Gotcha. Makes sense then.
Or could have even been a prequel.
Who knows? It's still on the giant backlog that I have. So, but maybe I'll bump it up after the Yakuza series.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds awesome. Congratulations. Anything else you did this week?
I also picked up. Oh, what is the name of this stupid game? It's that samurai game that came out last year.
Ghost of Tsushima?
Yes, that one.
Or Sekiro?
Yeah, it was Ghost of Tsushima.
I heard excellent things about that.
Yeah, it was on sale as well this week. Picked it up. Kind of, last night when we were doing D&D, where the new guy was talking about going back and rewatching 80s
Yeah,
action movies for inspiration. That was actually part of the reason I picked it up, was to get more of a cultural feel for my D&D character.
And it makes sense. It's an excellent game and rich in that more Japanese lore too. So
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't played a whole lot of it yet. I'm only about a couple hours in, so.
You got all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do something tonight after, I have to do dinner stuff. But
yeah.
We'll find out. Yeah, so let's, go ahead.
I was also going to mention tomorrow, I believe. Probably should have mentioned this in the pre-show so you could pulled it up. New Fall Guys season.
Oh, that's awesome. That's definitely something to talk about. Let's move.
And it does have Ghost of Tsushima skin coming to it.
Awesome.
I forgot that too.
That's awesome. All right, well, let's roll into this coming games that are releasing this week. I actually have something I'm actually excited about. For anybody who's reading the title names is probably not surprised. But we'll start from the top. Oddworld Soulstorm looks like it's coming to Xbox. You're not really. I feel like the Oddworld games have.
It also got a 5.
Yeah.
Even for Game Informer, who gets paid for this stuff.
Yes.
Decent games are not going to get below like a 7.
True. Speaking of. So yeah, hooray, I guess, if you have Xbox, but it's not that good of a game from what I've seen. Beyond This Steel Sky, I don't know anything about it, so don't ask me. I tried to look, and you get a whole lot of nothing. Doesn't even tell you a genre. So good job. Evil Geniuses 2 World Domination. Okay. Dauntless coming out for the new gen PlayStation 5 Xbox Series. This is one of the few games that our group picked up for a brief, for you, very brief, that I didn't even download. And it's not even because, like, I was opposed to it or anything crazy. It was more because, like, at that time, I wasn't even playing Monster Hunter World, which looked like a better Dauntless.
Yeah, I think the reason that they all picked it up is because, was it a PlayStation Plus game?
Yeah.
Or something. I know it was free somehow or another.
Yeah.
And
the game
so.
itself isn't free.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but like I said, I never picked it up, so I don't know. With the word purchase in it, I'm probably not, huh? But yeah. And you played for what you were saying, what, a grand total of like 30 minutes?
Yeah, I think I played one time.
Gotcha.
With them. Yeah. Like I said, it was just Monster Hunter. And I was like, I have Monster Hunter. If I want to play this, I'll go play Monster Hunter, which I didn't really want to play.
Yeah, and I was kind of right there with you. It's like, I did enjoy Monster Hunter, and it's a game that, honestly, I'd probably still eventually go back to finish, but it's just so many other games I'd rather play right now. So why would I pick up Dauntless? Oh, yeah. And then we have Fight in Tight Spaces, which we also didn't know anything about, and we took a sneak peek. It was funny, is the only thing it doesn't really release on. Well, it's actually not on. It's Xbox exclusive. And the first words out of your mouth were, "I play it on mobile."
Yeah.
So it's like, looks like some weird card. I don't want audio fighter. So cool. If you're you got an Xbox or want to play it on PC. The problem is, and you said this in the pre-show, and there's just so many games that kind of already are doing the card battler system.
Yeah, I think since the explosion of Slay the Spire, everybody was like, "Oh, let's do this." It's kind of the same thing as like Guitar Hero when it came out.
Yeah.
It was a revolutionary thing when it came out, and then suddenly it was everywhere. And then it was like, I can't take this anymore. Like Fortnite. It's like Fortnite came out, well, I guess Fortnite wasn't the first Battle Royale, but it was the mainstay. And then it's just like, everybody's got a Battle Royale now. So it's just like, oh, we can all do card games. And I like card games, but there are too many card games.
Yeah, and then it just makes it hard to actually stand out. No one tries to innovate or do anything new. This one looks like it might be interesting, but I don't have an Xbox and I'm not going to play the game on PC. And then Solar Ash isn't coming out for PlayStation and PC. It looks like an adventure indie game. Chorus coming out for everything. I don't even think I looked up what that was. Action game. Trying to
Why is it called
reinvent
Chorus with a U, but on the
it looks like
art it has a V?
Yeah, it's the Roman Corvus. I don't know. Chorus.
That would be Core 5S.
That's true. 5Ds. It's trying to reinvent the space shooter. All right. Now, excitingly, we have Danganronpa Decadence. I know you haven't really played or know much about the Danganronpa games besides its funny mascot, which is this guy here. For anybody who hasn't played, Spike Chunsoft does an excellent job of making a game that it is an idle click. Like, all right, I can't really call it like an idle clicker, right? It's story like narrative that you like you it reads you. It's like a novel that it's a visual novel that you still have to do some stuff to. Very similar to point and click adventure games. Um,
Text-based RPG.
yeah, yeah. Except it's definitely have a darker twist in nature. I almost want to just make you play it with me one day, but there's so much other stuff to do. But I'm a huge fan of the series, and this is Decadence is supposed to be 1, 2, and 3 all rolled in for the Switch. And also contains the new game, which is Ultimate Suburb Camp, and I didn't even know this game was coming out. So this looks like, from what they were saying, some weird adventure board game that has all the different characters from the different series with new cutscenes. So I'm actually super excited. I don't know if I'm going to buy the whole series or if I'm going to buy just the summer camp, but yeah, I definitely have to pick up this game.
I will say, I don't know anything about the series, obviously, but I don't hate the idea of spin-off like board game type games,
Yeah.
because I'm not gonna lie to you, if Kingdom Hearts had ever come out with a spin-off game of the board game that's in Birth by Sleep, I would have played the crap out of that game.
Yeah.
I probably have 200 hours in Birth by Sleep, and probably 100 of them are just playing the board game.
Yo, that definitely does not sound like a bad thing. Oh man, we need to see more of that. Just make board games for like series. But hopefully it's good. I will let you know. I haven't even busted out my Switch in forever. That might actually be a really good one to play though, like while I'm chilling with Brittany. Because a lot of times when we go to hang out, there's really not much that we both are doing right now. So it's kind of like just chilling in our bedroom. She's got YouTube up on there, and we're both. Well, she'll be playing games either mobile, and I'm just kind of sitting there reading or doing something. So that might be something to pick up.
Get back into Brigandine. I know you haven't beat them all yet.
No, I just did the one walkthrough. That's true. I also haven't played Fire Emblem past the Blue Lines route too, but I don't know. Those games aren't as exciting for me. But I did like Brigandine a lot. That was fun. Also, and jumping over to Final Fantasy 14 news, looks like the early access event for Endwalker begins this Friday. I know that you were kind of on hold. Did you end up still pre-releasing it, or are you still
Have
not?
not.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what my plan is I'm gonna hold off until after the initial rush,
Yep.
because if you've ever been a part of any expansion, queues are awful, even on low pop servers.
Yep.
So my plan is I looked this up yesterday. The Reaper class, which is coming out, has two requirements. One is you have to have the expansion, and two, you have to have a character who is level 70. And then you can go pick it up from Old Doll, which is a starter area, so anybody can go pick it up. So I already have a level 70 character. So my plan is I think like December 17th or something is my last day of work for the year.
Nice.
So what I'm probably going to do is pick it up then, go pick up the Reaper, and play through Deathbringers, which I still haven't, or Shadowbringers, which I still haven't played. And I'm going to play through it as a Reaper.
That's awesome.
And then get into Endwalker.
Yep. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the plan. I'm not huge like into this time. I have been in the past. When Stormblood came out, I was like in queue as soon as it came out, like midnight or whatever. It's like
this time it's a little more casual.
Yeah. I had the early access and all that for it. And then Stormbringer came out, and I was actually out of the country when it dropped. Yeah. So I didn't even get to play release week. And then can't remember exactly what happened. Some other things just happened, and I didn't get to play any for like the first month. And then I just didn't play any.
Yep, it happens, man. MMOs come and drop, and you generally circle back around to them. So I get it, but it should be exciting. I think I'll join you on the 17th when you boot up yours. I'll force you to run through that duty that I.
Yeah, and I mean, they haven't set, or I haven't found what level the Reaper is going to drop at yet. So if it comes at like level 50 or level 60, I'm going to have to level it up anyway before I can use it.
Yeah, which means I might be able to have you follow me around.
Yeah.
Do fates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sweet. And then, of course, finding out about more Final Fantasy news, you brought to my attention this one. So
yeah, this was a little humorous yesterday when I saw it.
Go ahead and break this down.
So, anybody that has played Final Fantasy or even remotely knows about Final Fantasy, the biggest talking point is the housing crisis in Final Fantasy, which is worse than the housing crisis in real life.
Yeah.
Especially on high pop servers, it is impossible to find a house, and they will oftentimes sell for millions of gil. Like players will sell them to other players, and then occasionally, like rarely, a house owner will default and the house will go back up for public sale. And what happens then is at a certain time period, the house comes up for sale, and the first person to click on it and buy it gets it. So obviously what people have done is they've set up bots or auto clickers or whatnot in front of these houses, and they're just constantly clicking trying to be the first to buy the house. But apparently last week some guy beat one of these auto clicker / bots to buying the house and proceeded to, I guess in his mind, teach this person that was botting a lesson by taking all of their money.
Yeah.
By putting a retainer in front of them and having them auto click on it, and then just buying junk for ridiculous prices.
For a total of 230 million gil. So, as someone who does a lot of auction economy stuff, to give people a reference, this is an absurd amount, right? Because if you never played a game, you don't know how much 230 million is. What is gold cap? Because I've reached it in or close to it in World of Warcraft, but I haven't even gotten to a point where I can think about it in Final Fantasy, so I'm not even sure.
Oh, I'm not even sure there is. Oh, I'm sure there is one.
What is gil cap in FX14? No, that's for the
999 million. So
if you think about it, even in terms of just cap, Like,
Yeah, he took a quarter of cap from this person.
that's insane.
Yeah, and I mean, just to put this in perspective, when we were playing full time, I was full time making money in the best way that I could to figure out how to make money, and it took me almost a month to make 14 million, Gil.
Yep.
You're talking. This is probably this person's life savings of playing this game for 8 to 10 years.
Yep. Just gone. Yeah, and this is the screen cap of him, seeing it and then him putting his retainer in.
Well, I think the person who's buying is the one on the other side of the wall, the Don.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then the
that's the
retainer
buyer.
is here.
Yeah, but because the placard is no longer clickable because it's been sold, he's clicking the next closest clickable thing, which happens to be the retainer.
Yeah, and then this guy, of course, is just chilling here, like, oh, keep buying my shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at least this is upgraded Pixie Floss for 1.14.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably do something like this, but I also wouldn't take this person for everything they had, like this guy did.
No, yeah, like, I don't know, a couple mil.
I mean, even enough to just pay for my house for me. That's
Yeah,
like,
it's like, thanks. Yeah, yeah. This was telling a different line for a different conversation we can have one day when we start playing again and are aggravated.
yeah.
But yeah,
But I also don't.
hilarious.
Yeah. I don't see the appeal of a house that much that you're willing to go this deep into it.
Yeah.
Like that. Sure, I understand houses. Everybody wants the immersion of having your own house or whatnot, but I mean, they have added apartments, so like every person there's an unlimited amount of apartments.
That's pretty cool. So even when we start playing again, we can be like, oh, all right, this is an apartment.
Oh yeah, they had apartments when we were playing.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I must have just
Yeah.
totally just bypassed it.
Yeah, there's a big building in the back of each housing district where you can go and get an apartment.
Huh. That's awesome. So yeah, it was nice though when we were playing to have our own guild hall. I think that's pretty
Yeah. With a guild, I think it's fine.
cool.
It gives you a place to like hang out and whatnot. But I've never seen the big draw of having a solo house and you're the only person that
Yeah, I agree.
uses it.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone's different though, and people play for
Yeah,
different reasons.
especially considering they don't serve much purpose in Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
Like in New
we can
World, we could
craft.
add storage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you can put crafting tables and stuff in Final Fantasy houses, but you can also just go to a city that has every crafting thing.
That and generally, since crafting is part of the story, you generally want to be, even if you're crafting your own stuff, right? Unless you're max cap for that profession, you have to go back anyway to talk to the person.
Yeah, the only thing that you need a house for is a guild house, and it's to set up there's a wheel type thing where you can load um, different types of enhancements and stuff.
Yeah.
Like 2% extra experience and stuff like that.
Hey
And so
man,
you need
I
a
need that
guild house for
2%.
that. But
I need that 2%.
yeah.
Oh man, but yeah. Either way, GG. That shit was hilarious. Not
Yeah,
for
it was a little. It was worth a good laugh at least.
yeah. And then I hope that person did learn, regardless if it was a bot or not, right? That to check up on your investment
Yeah,
beforehand.
because the way the guy describes it took him hours
Yeah, yeah.
to sell all that stuff. So
My guess is somebody had work though and set up their script, right? And then if it could be a job where I can't look at that, and then you come home and you're like,
yeah,
oh,
either that or
or sleep.
you went to bed.
Yeah, depending on where it was. I have less sympathy for sleep. Probably because
Yeah.
I don't get any. But for me, like if I was, I don't know. Honestly, if it was sleep and that was the only reason why, though, I've done stupider stuff than wake up or set an alarm at 3:30 in the morning. So I probably wouldn't even trust the auto clicker. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah, I do know. So if it is a macro, which we do know, macros aren't against TOS for Final Fantasy 14. But if he is on a high pop server, simulated auto non-AFKs are against TOS.
Gotcha.
So he's walking a thin border here, or a thin line, regardless of how he's doing this.
Yep. Too close. Yep. Either way,
Yeah.
he's out too.
He's out of his money because you're really not going to be able to make a claim against this.
The homeboy saved receipts. You were not forced to do any of this. You set up a... Regardless of how I feel about the person's actions, like, there's no... If this was me on the other side, there'd be nothing I can do. It would suck.
Just be like, GG, dude. You got me.
Slash delete. Delete character. Start all over again. Oh, man.
Better go get my fishing pole.
Time to go fish some more pets. And speaking, though, of GG and sad news, you brought up that another creative director leaves BioWare from Dragon Age 4. At this point, I loved Inquisition. It was probably my favorite of the Dragon Age games. I played from the beginning. BioWare as a studio, I like them. But man, the more and more stuff that I hear, the more stuff I see, the more people are leaving, I get more worried.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of Blizzard vibes, for lack of.
Yeah. It is worrying to see so many people just leave. And I will say, back when I was in college, which is getting on close to over 10 years ago now.
Don't think about it.
BioWare was my favorite studio. Mass Effect, Dragon Age, Knights of the Old Republic, even SWTOR, like all of that. I was playing all of those games, and yeah, ever since, it's like they've always been connected with EA, but it's like with Anthem, EA dug their claws in, and it completely changed the studio.
Yep. And I think a lot of what we're seeing is the aftermath of Anthem as a failure overall.
Yeah. This is the exact opposite of Final Fantasy 14, because we've discussed that before on the podcast, how that game almost bankrupt Square, but after fixing it, Square is now arguably at the peak of where they've ever been.
Yep.
This is the exact opposite. Anthem came out, they couldn't do anything to fix it.
Nope.
And it's almost ruined the studio.
Yeah, it's funny how a lot of stuff can hinge on one game.
Yeah. And I don't know if it talks much about it in this, but I've seen another article as well where this person leaving Dragon Age 4 doesn't just affect Dragon Age 4. This affects every other game they've got in the pipeline. Mass Effect sequels, anything like that, because now this is going to get pushed, which is going to cause all of that to get pushed.
Yep. Which is another thing that arguably can BioWare take. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But either way, this is troubling.
Yeah, it is. And this is because of Anthem. Dragon Age 4 is a game that BioWare has to hit a home run with.
Yeah.
Anthem puts you on the brink. If you don't crush this one, you're probably going over the edge.
Yeah, which is sad. It's a little scary, but yeah, you're definitely 100% right. You need to kill it. Hopefully they will. Hopefully we find out some more information on Dragon Age 4, because honestly, there hasn't been a lot of news even on what's going
Yeah,
on.
no good news. It's just like always,
This
someone
person
else is
left.
leaving the team.
Yeah.
It's like, at some point, you have to come out with a trailer
Yeah.
just to offset some of this negative publicity.
Yeah, or something. Oh man. Well, we're gonna end the note before on something that's exciting, because we don't want to end on a downer. Based off what you said in the very beginning of the podcast. So, Fall Guys Season 6 finally felt like however many years at this point.
Yeah, to be fair, when we started playing, Season 4 was like in its last month, and we thought, oh, these seasons are fast. And then we got into Season 5, it's like, no, this took freaking forever. Why are these seasons this long?
Oh my god, yeah. And it's funny is like we played probably a lot when the new season first came out, but then we dropped off like we always do. Uh, and I'm still maxed out on my paths.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, when we came back in last week or whenever we played, I only had like, I was on level 59 of 60. It's like,
Yeah, I was on 56
so it's like,
or something.
yeah, so. But yeah, it is exciting, I guess, to see a new season come out.
Yep.
Maybe it'll pick back up a little because it has seemed a little dead.
Yeah, loading into not even filled maps to the point where you're like at 40 out of 60, and you're just like, all right.
Well, we did realize that squads are only filling at up to 40. That's the max for them now. They've changed. They don't go to 60 anymore.
Gotcha. Makes sense. But still, yeah, there definitely doesn't seem as unique, and it seems like you get from children to like people that know life this game with very little in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it starts tomorrow.
Yep, looks like tomorrow.
And it doesn't. The ghost with 2 exclusive costumes. Kudos and grounds plus prepare to train as Jin and become the ghost. Stealthy.
Yeah, that's the battle pass or whatever, if you will. So it's not.
Yeah, see you in the Blunder Dome. That's awesome. So yeah, armed with all this information, you can close this out. What do you think? What's your plans for this week?
So I'll probably play some Ghost of Tsushima at some point.
Yep.
Looks like we'll probably pick Fall Guys up at some point. Do some more Back for Blood.
Yep.
And yeah, I got 2 D&D sessions this week, so.
Oh yeah, busy stuff. Yep. So the only other exception from you is my single player game is still Yakuza 5. And I only have 1 D&D session, except that I have to run it, so.
Man, you just gotta do what I did.
Yeah, just run it.
I think like 95% of my campaign was just me winging it. Like.
That was my old style. I've really been enjoying the more careful approach. It just sucks that it does take so much time away.
Yeah. And my approach was not.
You had the bones and foundation. You
yeah,
just
like I had the story. It wasn't like,
yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna make the story up as we go along.
No.
But yeah, 90% of your battles and stuff were all, if not in the moment, like 10 minutes before.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man, and it worked. So can't be too surprised. But, yeah. Either way, sounds like a good week of gaming. And I hope we catch you all next week. And what? D&D next Sunday, and who knows? I'll try to stream more this week, but probably won't. Got family in here, so probably won't see you till Sunday.